If we talk about the unsung heroes of American streets, one machine quietly towers above the morning routine: the garbage truck. Long before sunrise, while most of the country sleeps, these steel giants rumble to life, lifting, crushing, and hauling away the evidence of modern living. But this isn't just a story about trash collection. It's a story about innovation, grit, and the relentless pursuit of efficiency. From the clunky, hand-loaded trucks of the late 1960s to today's high-tech automated behemoths, garbage trucks have evolved into engineering marvels. But how did they transform so dramatically? What forces shaped their design? And what hidden technology powers the machines we barely notice? This is the untold evolution of American garbage trucks, machines that keep entire cities alive without ever asking for recognition. Let's roll back to 1967, a time when sanitation work was as brutal as it was essential. Picture this: crews of men riding on the back of open trucks, manually hoisting heavy metal bins, battling odors, weather, and injury with every shift. These early trucks were loud, inefficient, and demanded sheer human strength to operate. Yet they laid the foundation for everything that followed. As cities expanded and waste volumes exploded, the need for smarter, faster, and safer solutions became impossible to ignore. What came next wasn't just improvement, it was a complete reinvention of the garbage truck as we know it today. But before we get there, here's the number that makes this whole thing even more confusing. Switching just one route from a manual crew to an automated truck saves between $80,000 and $130,000 per year in labor costs alone per route per year. On a city running 50 routes, that's potentially $6.5 million sitting on the table every single year. So why are tens of thousands of trucks still doing it the old way? That answer is way more interesting than you'd expect. And we're about to break the whole thing down. Let's go back to 1967 first, because you need to feel what this job actually was before you can appreciate how much has changed and how much hasn't. 3 men per truck, every route, every city. 1 driving, 2 riding the outside of the vehicle on small metal foot rails between every single stop, and at every house. Both of them jump off, grab the metal garbage can, carry it to the back of the truck, dump it by hand, throw the empty can back toward the curb, jump back on the rails. How many times per day? 800 to 1,200 stops every single day. Studies from that era found garbage collectors were getting injured at a rate 5 to 7 times higher than the average American worker. Now, here's something most people get wrong about that 1967 truck. It wasn't primitive. Hydraulic compaction had been around since 1938, when Garwood Industries introduced the load packer, a hydraulic blade inside the body that packed garbage tighter and doubled a truck's capacity. By the time we hit the 1950s, compactor trucks were spreading across American cities and becoming the new standard. Good technology, it genuinely worked. But here's the thing. All of that only kicked in after the garbage was already inside the truck. That gap. The distance between your trash can at the curb and the opening at the back of the truck. Still 100% human muscle, every stop, every house, every day. The truck was doing its job, the crew was doing the truck's job too. And that's the whole problem in one sentence. So who actually fixed it? Not New York, not Chicago, not Los Angeles. Scottsdale, Arizona. Population around 67,000 in 1969. The city was growing fast. New neighborhoods expanding every route. More houses, more manual crew needed, more injuries, more money bleeding out in claims every quarter. And someone asked the question, what if the truck grabbed the bin instead of the crew member? A mechanical arm on the side of the truck. One driver controls it from inside the cab. It reaches out, grabs the bin, lifts it up and over into the hopper, sets it back down. Driver never leaves the seat. One stop, done. Simple concept, brutal execution. First prototypes dropped bins in the middle of streets, arms jammed mid-route. Bins across the city weren't standardized. The arm would grab one perfectly and fumble the next. Parked cars blocked the arm's reach on tight residential streets. But Scottsdale kept going, and in 1969 they deployed what industry historians widely credit as one of the first successful automated side loaders on actual residential routes. You want to know what the industry nicknamed this truck when they saw it work? The one-arm bandit. 3 men became 1. Daily handlifting became a joystick, and the blueprint Scottsdale worked out became the foundation that cities across America started copying through the 1970s and 1980s. The technology worked. Injuries dropped sharply in every city that made the switch. The savings were real. So why are tens of thousands of trucks still running manual crews in 2026? This is the part nobody explains. Problem 1. The upfront cost. A modern automated side loader in 2026 costs $350,000 to $500,000 per truck. A city replacing 30 manual rear loaders is writing a check for $10 to $15 million before a single bin gets picked up with the new equipment. That money competes with roads, schools, water systems, emergency services. Problem 2. The bins. Automated arms need standardized carts, specific type, specific size. Cities running manual crews often have neighborhoods where residents use whatever container they have, bags, buckets, old cans, whatever works. Switching to automated means the city has to distribute new standardized carts to every household on every affected route first, before a single new truck even turns a wheel. That's a whole separate operation before the main one starts. Problem 3. The streets. Automated arms need clearance to swing. Older cities built before the car, narrow streets, tight alley access, dense layouts. The arm physically cannot reach certain bins without clipping a parked car or a telephone pole. Manual crews can go wherever their feet take them. So in 2026, manual rear loader crews are still actively running routes across America. Not because the technology doesn't work, not because the savings aren't real, but because the path from old to new runs through budget approvals, cart distribution programs, street assessments, and infrastructure realities that don't move as fast as anyone wants. That is not a failure. That is just how real change moves through real systems at real scale. Here's where it gets genuinely interesting, because the industry isn't just finishing the shift from manual to automated. It's moving from diesel to electric at the same time. Electric garbage trucks are no longer experimental. Real fleets are running them on real routes right now. Louisville, Kentucky, and San Pablo, California already have electric garbage collection routes operating in their cities. And the reason electric trucks work so well for garbage collection surprises most people. Short routes, constant stopping and starting, returning to a depot every night to charge. The driving pattern that would destroy the range on an electric long-haul truck is almost ideal for a residential garbage route. The truck that used to wake up your entire street 3 blocks before it arrived now pulls up in some cities almost completely silently. Here's where everything lands. 1967, 3 men per truck, 2 of them riding the outside of a moving vehicle in live traffic, getting injured at 5 to 7 times the rate of the average worker, dumping garbage by hand up to 1,200 times per day. 2026, roughly 180,000 garbage trucks across America. More than half running with 1 driver and a robotic arm. Electric fleets already operating in real cities. Major waste companies committing billions to clean energy fleets. Autonomous vehicles in active development. And still, tens of thousands of trucks running the way they ran in 1967. Because the budget, the bins, and the streets haven't caught up to the technology in every jurisdiction yet. Same country, same year, 2 completely different operations. Which version shows up on your street? Manual crew or robot arm? Drop it in the comments. That answer is genuinely different depending on where you live. Subscribe. There's a lot more of this coming.